taken with Mumbai Indians and Lucknow Super Giants chasing him immediately at rupees 10.75 crore. Royal Challengers Bangalore joined the bidding, and then they won. Bhuvaneshwar services with MI and LSG suddenly going mute. Two Indian pacers released by Chennai Super Kings ahead of the retention deadline found interest from a few franchises. Deepak Chahar went to Mumbai Indians for 9.25 crore, while after CSK and Punjab Kings showed their eagerness, while Tushar Deshpande found his previous owners chasing him almost immediately, but eventually found a new IPL home with Rajasthan Royals after the Jaipur franchise went with 6.50 crore for him. Akashdeep's name elicited prompt activities from CSK and from LSG. Later, PVKS and the Seamer then ended up with LSG for 8 crore. As on day one of the auction, PVKS again chased several valuable pace options, first forking out 7 crore rupees for South African quick Marco Jansen and bidding as high as 8 crore for Indian seamer Mukesh Kumar, only to see Delhi Capitals use their right to match card to buy him back. Another pace option that PVKS went after eagerly was Deepak Chahar, but eventually they backed out at rupees 7.75 crore to look on as MI and CSK continued their bidding. In getting Sam Curran for his base price of rupees 2 crore, CSK added another valuable all-rounder, and then they went hard for the uncapped domestic pacer in unsold Kamboj, holding off DC and LSG to get him for 3.4 crore. There you look at that. CSK getting him for 3.4 crore. Former KKR captain Nitish Rana, he attracted interest from CSK, Rajasthan Royals and RCB before he went to RR for 4.2 crore. Krunal Pandya, he was backed by RCB for 7.75 crore. The little-known teenager from Afghanistan, Ala Ghaznafar, he made headlines after he debuted in an ODI in March. He won a bid of 4.80 crore from MI after entering his first IPL auction with a base price of 75 lakhs. Heads also turned when RR valued the 13-year-old batsman from Bihar, Vaibhav Suryavanshi, at 1.1 crore. Another surprise was the frenzy that surrounded the 23-year-old Delhi batsman Priyansh Arya, who went to PVKS for 3.8 crore rupees after the franchise held off bids from MI, DC and RCB. So let's talk about this 13-year-old who created history by becoming the youngest player to earn an IPL deal worth 1 crore 10 lakh rupees. Yes, Bihar's Vaibhav Suryavanshi, a left-handed top-order batter. He has become the youngest player to be bought in the IPL auction by Rajasthan Royals. To be precise, Suryavanshi is all of 13 years and 243 days on the day he got his maiden IPL contract. He's already played for India under-19. He scored a century, opening the batting against Australia under-19 in a 4-day game in Chennai less than 2 months ago. Bids for Suryavanshi started at his base price of rupees 30 lakhs, and RR and Delhi Capitals were soon involved in the bidding battle, which eventually went RR's way. Suryavanshi hails from Samastipur, a city about 100 kilometers northeast from Patna. He's played 5 Ranji Trophy games since his first-class debut against Mumbai earlier this year and is currently playing T20s in the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy for Bihar. He recently made his T20 debut against Rajasthan on 23rd of November. The highlight of his career so far is the century against Australia under-19, which came off just 58 balls before he fell for 104. That knock made Suryavanshi the youngest player at 13 years and 187 days to score a century in youth cricket, breaking the previous record of 14 years and 241 days held by Bangladesh's current captain, Najmul Hussain Shantub. Suryavanshi also has a triple century to his name, an unbeaten 332 in an under-19 tournament in Bihar, the Randhir Verma tournament. He idolizes Brian Lara and consults former India opener. And you saw that picture there with Wasim Jaffer about a bit ago. And in fact, he consults Wasim Jaffer about his game from time to time, They had first met during an under-19 white ball tournament in Bangladesh in 2023 November. His former coach, though, is his father, Vaibhav Suryavanshi, who was also a cricketer but couldn't make it to the higher levels of the game. Now, as soon as Vaibhav achieved this historic feat, certain sections of the media started talking about age fraud. Earlier, there was a controversy with some alleging that Vaibhav's actual age is 15. Talking about these allegations, the youngster's father, Sanjeev Suryavanshi, he has now spoken out to a news agency. He said when he was 8.5 years old, he first appeared for a BCCI bone test. He's already played India under 19. We don't fear anyone. He can again undergo age test. So this is the clarification from Vaibhav's father on the age fraud allegations about his son. Okay, now some big names have also been left out, with the likes of David Warner, Johnny Bairstow, among others, not attracting a single bid to their name for a spot in one of the 10 franchises for the upcoming season. Indian players like Shardul Thakur with a base price of 2 crore, Umesh Yadav, another player with a base price of 2 crore, were also overlooked, with teams being mindful of their team person, trying to get as many players in the limited money that they were left with. Let's take a look at some of the biggest names to be left out, and we've got to begin with David Warner. He was one of the IPL's most fearsome players, but David Warner no longer commands the same respect among franchises as he went unsold at a base price of 2 crore in Jeddah. The former SRH captain, currently commentating during the ongoing Border Gavaskar Trophy, might return to the IPL as a commentator in 2025. Shardul Thakur is the next player. One of the most surprising outcomes of this IPL auction was all-rounder Shardul Thakur going unsold at a base price of 2 crore. Thakur was listed on day 2 of the auction, a stage where many teams lacked the budget to bid for him. His form in the previous IPL season may have also influenced the decision, as he managed just 5 wickets in 9 matches with an economy rate of 9.76. Then, the ex-player is Prithvi Shaw, once touted as the future of Indian cricket. Prithvi Shaw's decline has been stark, with the Mumbai batter going unsold at the IPL auction despite a base price of just 75 lakh. In the previous season, Shaw featured in 8 matches, scoring 198 runs at an average of 24.75 and a strike rate of 163.64. Johnny Bairstow, England's wicketkeeper batter, formed a destructive opening partnership with David Warner during their time at Sunrisers Hyderabad, but since his move to Punjab Kings, the batter has struggled with consistency. Despite his lack of form, Bairstow's ability to keep wickets would have been an added advantage for the teams, but they opted not to go down that route, leaving the player unsold. Okay, Team India head coach Gautam Gambhir has flown back home with to be with his family due to a personal emergency. He's unlikely to rejoin the squad before the second test against Australia, which will start in Adelaide on December 6th. The Delhi-based coach Gautam Gambhir, he will skip India's 2-day pink ball warm-up game against Prime Minister's 11 in Canberra on November 30th and December 1st. The Board of Control for Cricket in India, they've issued a statement which reads, and I quote, "He left with his family on early Tuesday morning for India. It is an unavoidable personal emergency. He will be back in Adelaide before the start of the second test match." The Indian team will leave for from Perth to Canberra. Tomorrow, they're expected to attend an official reception by the Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. The 2-day match will be a crucial time for them. It'll be a crucial preparation for the side, as the second test is going to be a day-nighter. The pink kookaburra ball will be used during the clash. Australia's Prime Minister's 11 will be led by all-rounder Jack Edwards, and it will be a squad full of youngsters along with a few test-capped internationals like Scott Boland and Matthew Renshaw. The rules of the game will be declared by the two teams, and it is expected that everyone will bat and bowl, as the match does not have an official status. Former India coach and Australian captain Greg Chappell is highly impressed with Yashasvi Jaiswal. Who is it? Yashasvi Jaiswal, who laid the foundation for India's big total and victory in Perth with his 161-run knock. This is what Chappell has to say in a column of a leading Australian daily. Chappell's written that Jaiswal looks well placed to carry forward the glorious legacy of batting excellence established by the likes of Sachin Tendulkar and Virat Kohli. This is what he said, and I quote, "The young opener is fearless and appears poised to inherit the mantle of Indian batting excellence following the likes of Virat Kohli and Sachin Tendulkar." Chappell, who worked as India head coach between 2005 and 2007, also spoke about the wide gulf in planning between the Indian and the Australian cricketing establishment when it came to grooming youngsters for traditional formats. He said, and I quote, "Jaiswal's journey encapsulates why India's planning and infrastructure give them a clear edge in world cricket. The young left-hander moved to Mumbai at 10, seeking the best competition to realize his dream of representing India. Considering the staggering odds of breaking into the Indian 11, his determination is remarkable. There are so many players in India who are good enough to play Test cricket, but some can't even get a game for their state team." Chappell then presented numbers to compare Jaiswal with the 25-year-old Australian debutant Nathan McSpinney, who hasn't yet played much despite being older than Jaiswal. All right, let's move on to football. Arsenal trained on Monday before heading to Lisbon to face Sporting in the Champions League encounter. The Gunners currently sit in the 12th place on the points table with 7 points from 4 games, 10 places and 5 points behind Sporting, who are in the second place behind Liverpool after 3 wins and 1 draw from the same number of matches. Arsenal returned to winning ways in the Premier League with Bukayo Saka and captain Martin Odegaard inspiring a comfortable 3-0 home victory against Nottingham Forest on Saturday. Odegaard returned with a lengthy layoff with an ankle injury in the draw at Chelsea before the international break, and he looked sharp as he pulled the strings for Arsenal. Saka also looked revived after missing the latest England cap because of injury, combining to great effect with Odegaard before both were substituted late on, with Arteta switching his attention to Tuesday's Champions League clash. Manager Mikel Arteta was upbeat that everyone in his squad is fit to start in their Champions League group stage match away to Sporting Lisbon later tonight.
Yeah, everybody that is in the squad is fully fit to start the game. As I said as well, we have Kieran Tierney after a long injury. Great news that he's back. He's been training with the team and he's available to participate. We want it to be higher, that's for sure. But this is the position that we are right now, and we have to face it and control what we can, which is to play in a way that's going to give us every chance to win the game. And fight to do it as quick as possible, and tomorrow we have a great opportunity to do that. I wouldn't say that this is probably the most important thing, but the efficiency that we have shown inside the box at this level with the chances that you're normally able to generate in Champions League is not really at the level that requires to win consistently. And that's something that I always say, Champions League is about boxes, small margins and details, and you have to get all those right to win, especially away from home.
Meanwhile, new Sporting coach Joao Pereira hopes to continue the club's fine start to this season's Champions League against Arsenal. Pereira, who joined Sporting as Ruben Amorim's left to take over at Manchester United, he said that the club's goal of a place in the next round remains unchanged. A former Portugal defender, Pereira had 3 spells at Sporting as a player, making 154 appearances with his last season under Amorim in 2020-2021 when they won the title. Sporting sit on top of the Primera Liga with 11 wins from 11 matches. So did Pereira take any tips from Amorim for maintaining the good run of Sporting Lisbon? Club's new coach said he didn't speak to his predecessor at all to prepare for the game against Arsenal. Listen in. Okay, Manchester City will be under pressure as they host Feyenoord later tonight, and their manager Pep Guardiola has said that the players have to be completely committed to the club's cause in their Champions League clash. City's losing streak has stretched to 5 matches as Tottenham Hotspur stunned the Premier League champions 4-0 at the Etihad on Saturday. It is the first time Guardiola had lost 5 games in a row in his managerial career. It was also the first time they had lost 5 consecutive matches in all competitions since April 2006. The defeat left second-placed City 8 points adrift of leaders Liverpool, who they visit on Sunday. Manchester City's campaign has been hindered by injuries, with Ballon d'Or winner Rodri, centre-back Ruben Dias, midfielder Mateo Kovacic, as well as wingers Jeremy Doku and Oscar Bob among those facing spells on the sidelines. Guardiola, who signed a 2-year contract extension at City last week, has led the club to 18 major trophies, including 6 Premier League titles and 1 Champions League crown. With his contract expiring in 2025, midfielder Kevin De Bruyne said he did not know about his future at City as he continues his return to full fitness. Champions League debutants Brest face a daunting task of dealing with Barcelona, and their coach Eric Roy welcomes the challenge from the Spanish La Liga giants. The French side are in a good position to go through to the next round, sitting pretty in the top section of the table after 3 wins and a draw from their opening 4 games. Barcelona are 2 places and 1 point below Brest in 6th place. Brest face a Barcelona side that have suffered a dip in form since an injury to Lamine Yamal ruled him out, but Roy insisted he would rather see the teenager play as he wants his side to compete with the best. On the eve of the match, Roy said that meeting Spain and Barcelona will be an incredible challenge for his team. Meanwhile, Barcelona coach Hansi Flick is concerned about teenager Lamine Yamal's injury. The Spanish player is still recovering from an ankle sprain, but Flick's team can get back to winning ways against Brest without him. Following a remarkable 7-game winning streak that started in October, Barca stumbled to a 1-0 loss at Real Sociedad, then a 2-2 draw at Celta Vigo, with Yamal absent from both games. Flick, who took charge of Barca in May, said his young squad needed to learn to cope with adversity and that a positive result against Brest would be a good start. Real Madrid have suffered a blow ahead of their Champions League match against table toppers Liverpool. Forward Vinicius Jr. will miss tomorrow's crucial match against Liverpool after he sustained a leg muscle injury. He sustained this during Real's 3-0 La Liga win at Leganés at the weekend. Sources close to the player have said Vinicius is expected to be sidelined for 3 to 4 weeks, which means he could miss up to 7 games in all competitions before the winter break. Real Madrid are slated to take on Girona and Atletico Bilbao in La Liga and visit Atlanta for the Champions League. Real, in a statement, has confirmed that after the tests were carried out, Vinicius Jr. by the Real Madrid Medical Services, he's been diagnosed with an injury to the biceps femoris in his left leg. Vinicius is latest to join the club's lengthy injury list, which includes players like Rodrigo, Eder Militao, Dani Carvajal, Lucas Vazquez, Aurelien Tchouameni, David Alaba. These are the players. Real are second in La Liga standings on 30 points, 4 behind Barcelona, who drew 2-2 with Celta Vigo on Saturday. However, after 2 losses in the last 3 games in the Champions League, Carlo Ancelotti's side could be in trouble with a bad result at Anfield. They are 13th in that 36-team table with 6 points from 4 games. Well, that's it in this edition of The Game On. Hope you enjoyed. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.
Jonty, Rhodes and Alan Donald, they're kind of the reason why I started playing.
I think most young spinners, when they're growing up, Shane Warne was just everything, wasn't he? He was one of the greats of all time.
Playing against India was always challenging in India.
We're not allowed to bowl a bouncer, so that tells you that they want to see runs on the board. Clean ball.
It's totally different era you in and we are in.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
I'm Manoj Mitta, a journalist who co-authored a book titled When a Tree Shook Delhi. I've written extensively on the cover-up of political complicity in the mass violence targeting Sikhs in the wake of Indira Gandhi's assassination.